Hello, hello, hello. Hi, this is Christine Crowle here. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. I hope you're well. And if you're watching the replay, if you could comment, hashtag you watch the replay. If you're watching the live, just let me know that you're here live. That would be great. And today, I just want to say thank you to the subscribers that are subscribing to the channel. I really do appreciate you, and I am so grateful to you from the bottom of my heart. I really do appreciate this. And what I also want to say is that I'm doing all things really that is to do with being a CEO, because without all of these other things like our fitness, our health, our food that we eat, our mindset, our wellness, our communication with people, networking, for example, our positivity, our productivity. And what I also want to say is that, at the end of the day, only you can make it happen. You've got to have that faith in you to make this work, because you're going to be faced with some tough times, and it's not a time for you to run back. It's a time to run into it, and face whatever that is, for example, and be ready for it, because we are obviously 2025 is upon us. We might as well say this. We're going to enjoy the holiday, the break, etc. But we've also got inflation that we're dealing with. And providers, CEOs, you have to be prepared for it. You can't just leave it and wait until it hits you in the face. You can see online where these big companies, what are they doing? They're closing, aren't they? They're closing down because they've got too much overheads, for example. They've got too much national insurance that they're probably paying out. They're probably looking at having to let people go, but then that's going to cost them a lot of money, because they've probably had people that's been with them for 20 years or so. So they've got it a bit harder than how the smaller businesses have got it. And this is your time. This is your time to not step back, to run into this and take control, because you are not like the giants. You are a small business which you can pivot. You got that flexibility. You don't realize how fortunate that you are, that you can actually make a change and take this to a whole new level in 2025. You see, I've been through it, so I can see already what the opportunities are for you in 2025. I really can. And I am looking at this inflation thing. I'm not seeing it as a negative. Do you know why? Because I've been through it. I've been through a recession already. There's been quite a few recessions actually, but obviously with COVID that was another thing. But we've already been through things, so we know what the outcome will be if we do nothing. If I decided to stay in the UK, for example, when lockdown had happened, if I didn't make that decision in 2019 to make a move, then I could have been in the UK still. I love the UK, don't get me wrong, but I like Cyprus better because the weather is so much nicer and people are more friendlier. And even the builders, when they're doing their work on their JCBs and things, they say Calimera. That they have time to stop and look you in the eye and say hello. Even the workers, in hotels or whatever, all nationalities, they say hello. And you're a small business, small to medium-sized micro business, or you've just started, you're actually in a stronger position than the big guys. Remember, the bigger they are, the harder they will fall. And you really do have this option to really see this inflation of 2025. And yes, it's going to be hard. There's going to be times where it's hard. It's going to be a challenge. But if you can plan now how you're going to meet that challenge, then it won't be a challenge. It's a challenge at the moment because you're trying to work out how best to deal with it. But you're in a strong position, very strong position, but you have to make sure your mind is right, and that your health is right, and that your heart is right, and that you're fit enough physically. You have got to prepare just like the Navy SEALs do. The Marines do. The army, the military do. They prepare, don't they? Just like when you're doing a match or, gymnastics or football or whatever, they prepare. They don't practice for that day that they've got a match, do they? They practice. And this is what you've got to do. CEOs, seriously, you've got to practice now. Don't just think, oh, Christmas is coming, I'll do it after Christmas. Because then you're running behind your tail at that point. Start planning it now. Use the holiday season. Yes, of course, take some time off, but use the holiday season to plan, because that's what I'm doing. I'm using the holiday season. I'm planning what I want to do for all of you here. Because the opportunity for you is that you will be able to grow. And, we've got the free boot camp, which is the 27th and the 28th of December, which is 2 days. It's free. You get to see a bit about what our business recovery bootcamp is all about. It's something that you shouldn't miss as a director, that is, because we deal with things like, recession, proofing your business. We deal with damage limitation. We deal with staff audit. We deal with, your SOPs. We deal with how your company is currently functioning right now, where you are actually looking at your own company and looking at what changes that needs to be done in order for you to really be strong when and if the storm hits you in April 2025. I'm putting this to you. I'm talking to you here now because I'm seeing an opportunity. Look what Warren Buffett does. Warren Buffett, the billionaire, he waits, doesn't he, for opportunities like this, where he feels that there's going to be an inflation, or he feels there's going to be a recession. And what do? They capitalize on it. And I'm not saying this in a horrible, nasty way at all. I just want us to be real. I don't want you to be like the captain on a ship that is willing to have the whole ship sink than save the ship. So CEOs, directors, you've got to prepare yourself. You've got to prepare yourself, because you will win the battle if you prepare yourself. You cannot just sit back lightly without looking at your organization, looking at your staffing structure, looking at what you can do to improve your sales, looking at diversifying. There's lots of things that you can do. This is why I'm giving you these hints and tips and things like that to bring in additional income so that you can weather the storm. You see that commercial where those people are in a boat and there's water, and they're saying they're in an office, of course, and they're saying that I'm in water above my head, for example. Someone says, I'm actually in a boat, I'm okay, for example. You want to be in the boat and be okay and move around. We've got to plan properly for this inflation of 2025, because yes, there's so much going on at the moment, but focus on your business and focus on your family and friends and things that you can control. Focus on that. Focus on your mindset. Focus on your wellness. Focus on your strength. Focus on your fitness. Eat the right foods so that you can overcome these challenges that you will be faced with, but you will be strong enough to overcome it because you know what's coming. You all know what's coming. So what you've got to do is you've got to plan it right. You've got to look and evaluate your business properly and do it now. Just like these big companies are doing it now. They're evaluating their business. But what are they seeing? What are they seeing? They're seeing that national insurance is going up. That's another 1.5 or 1.8% per staff member, for example. Then we've got pension. Then there's holiday pay. I was speaking with a client today, and there's a section when you're applying for contracts, because we were talking about contracts, and there's a section where you're applying for contracts, and it's to do with social value in your community. So what social value are you able to offer in order for you to get sales, in order for you to get a contract with a large organization, like a government organization, for example? So one of the things I mentioned about social value is to look at the young persons. And I've mentioned this, last week about the apprentices, hiring them. They're £7.55 per hour in April 2025. They will go to college, for example, 3 days out the week, for example, and be with you for 2 days out the week. But the young adults have got so much to offer organizations. They're so fast. Something that would take a 40, 50-year-old to do, that could take them a week or a month, for example, can only take them, say, 2 hours, 4 hours, for example. Look at the apprentices that are around you in your community. So you're offering local jobs to local people, because the young adults aren't being given a try. And I know some of them are not as good as you would like them to be, but it's the same in all ages. It's not just them. All ages are like this. Some of them are good and some of them are not so good. And it's any age. It's not because they're young. It's their personality. But don't give up on the young adults. They've gone to college or they're going to college. They're trying to get somewhere. And if we don't take them on, then that means we're losing our future, right? You imagine you've got children that are going to college. You've paid for them to go to college, or, you know, they're paying for themselves to go to college, and then they come out of college and they've got no job to go to for what they've been training for 4 years. So let's look at hiring some young adults that can give the company a bit of balance. Because you want balance in your company. You want to have the 18 to 25 year olds. You want to have the 27 year olds to 35 year olds. You want to have, say, for example, the 40 year olds to 55, 60 year olds, for example, whenever the retirement age is. You want to have that. You got to have that balance. However, if you look at who you've got in your organization right now, I would love to know the percentage of the age group that are under 25. What is the percentage? Is it 1%? Is it 15%? Because sometimes some contracts will ask that you are hiring young persons or persons from disadvantaged families of, say, 15% in your organization in order to really have a good chance to apply. Well, you can apply for a contract anyway, but to win a contract. So I want you all to be thinking about this. Meet with your apprentice. There's apprenticeship companies out there. Meet with your colleges and talk to them about what positions that the young persons are looking to get. Because maybe you may be able to offer them something. You know, even if it's 1 day a week, they're getting that work experience. Don't see them as difficulty. Because like I said, all age groups, there's difficulty. And believe me, I can tell you, I've had difficulties with, you know, people in their 20s, people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, for example. So you can't say that it's the problem is the young adults, because that's not the case. And take it from me, I've been in business for 40 years, I've done multiple businesses. So I know the difference, I can see it. But we need to really look at hiring the young adults that's in your community. Because let's be honest here, people go off sick no matter what age group they are. People are always going off sick, for example. And this is why it's important that you, as the director, are fit as much as possible as you can be, so that you're in the right mindset. Because Warren Buffett and all those big guys, they are waiting. They're sitting waiting. They know what's happening. They know what's happening. They can see these big companies closing down, that's closing down, that's closing down. Guess what's going to happen? They're going to buy those companies for probably next to nothing. And they sit and wait. And then it's back again. And it's making money again. A lot more than what it was. You know, because they've turned it around. You've got that opportunity. Don't lose that opportunity, directors. Because you can weather this storm. But if you choose to ignore the storm, then you will be taken with it, for example. But if you plan now what you're going to do in your organization, what you're paying out for, and what do you need to have and what do you not need to have, then there's no reason why you shouldn't do well come next year, just like the Warren Buffetts. How do you think they started? You know, a lot of people, they wait for this recession to come and then they just swoop in. They take over. And they're doing really well. And some of them become millionaires out of a recession. You saw it with those that were doing like mask, hand gels, you know, during COVID. They became millionaires, didn't they? Or close to millionaires. And you can have that as well. So think about the sales that you'll be able to have in your business if you do it correctly, for example. And yes, I know that we've all heard NHS don't want to use agency staff, but they've got to use them at some point. They just want to minimize the support workers, for example. But there's other healthcare organizations that need your help. Do subcontracting. There's no reason for you not to try that. Now, like I said, we've got our boot camp, which is the free boot camp is on the 27th and the 28th of December. Okay, that is free. It's for 2 days. It's a marathon, and it's to do with business recovery because I really want to get you prepared. So this is a free event because I want you to be prepared, ready for 2025. I want you to be hitting that ground running come January. No excuses. No excuses to not work on your business. Because this isn't a time to sit back and chill. Yeah, I know it's the holiday season. I know it's Christmas. But don't be eating too much mince pies and stuffing yourself and drinking too much alcohol. You've got a business that needs to be looked after. Okay? So you can't really afford to be too relaxed. Yeah, of course, take the time off. But remember, the companies like Warren Buffett, they're sitting, waiting. It's like they're sitting, waiting around a corner somewhere, and they're going to pounce big time. They're all meeting right now, talking about this situation that's happening in the UK and in the US. There's a lot going on that you don't realize. They're sitting having meetings of how they're going to take over this company, that company, this company. They're going absolutely supercharged. That's where they're going. And you need to think the same way. What can you do? What can you do to get yourself sales in your business? And I'm talking about diversifying. Think about what you can do, but also look at what you're paying out, and you're going to need to make some cutbacks. As painful as it is, you will need to make cutbacks. Things that aren't producing sales for you, things that you've spent on software that you're not even using, that needs to go. You got to really do an expense audit. Only do things, pay for things that's money generating activity. If someone is underperforming, you've got to do something about it. You can't leave it. You've got to protect your company to the best of your ability. And think about diversifying. So in the like I said, I was talking about when I was speaking with a client today, and we were talking about social value. What do you bring to the table in your community that is social value? Are you communicating with the apprentice companies? Are you communicating with the job centres? Are you communicating with the colleges, for example? Are you communicating with, because you'll find out that there's adults that come from, a disadvantaged background, for example. And they're looking for jobs as well. So if you can do all of this to help with the social value in your community, then you are contributing to your community, as well as when you apply for that contract, then you're more likely to get it because you've done your research. Go out and meet your community. Don't sit indoors expecting business to just flow through the phone, because it's not going to. You've got to get out. You've got to get out and speak with your community. Speak with the day centres. Speak with the sheltered housing, for example, assisted living. Speak with your social services. Speak with the organisations where people go to look for jobs, or maybe they're going to sign on to get money, for example, because they're unemployed. Speak to the disadvantaged locations and see whether you can offer something so that you're contributing to your community. So these are the things, the strategies that I want you to start thinking about, because in order to really understand the 2025 April inflation, for example, you've got to look at what you can do that you're in control of, because you're not in control of what they're doing. So focus on what you can control and be prepared, just like a Navy SEAL is prepared, just like a military army person is prepared for battle, just like a Marines. Look at the training that these people have to go through in order to even get in, and then when they're in, they've then got to practice for how long before they become elite. And you are a CEO, and you should be doing the same. I didn't realize this many years ago. I didn't realize how sharp and thorough and fit physically, mentally, that I had to be. Because as soon as something hit me in 2008, I ran. Because I was like scared. I had a young child. I was thinking I'd rather be at home and just look after my kids than deal with all of this stress. But that's because I hadn't trained my mindset to deal with it, to deal with that challenge. And that's why I created the 30-day CEO challenge. And now I'm talking to you about business recovery skills, because you need that. We don't get taught this. We don't get trained in this way. We go to college, we do business or we do law or whatever, but we're not taught what do we do when we're hit with a crisis. What is our crisis planning? We got continuity plan, but that's not the same as a crisis plan. It's far from what that crisis plan is. The continuity plan is totally different. It's very mild, it's very fluffy, easy. But what happens when there is a crisis? What happens when someone is attacking your company? What do you do? Like if you're being attacked, cyber attacked. We've got to get all of these things in place and know what it is that we need to do to fight back and strong, so that no one can penetrate your company. Just like Warren Buffett and all of those big guys out there, they are sitting there with their pen and paper and they're rubbing their hands with glee because they're thinking, yeah, we're going to make some money. That's what they're thinking. You're seeing it in the news. This place is closing down. This place is closing down. Because the crisis plan, damage limitation hasn't been done. Even though they're a big company, it should have been done. But it clearly hasn't been, because they wouldn't be in that situation. And this is why I said you've got to start planning now and saving now, so that when you do get hit with a crisis, that you can cope, that you've got that money to pay and say, go away, leave me alone, and you get on with your business. But if you get hit in April 2025, and this is the UK I'm referring to, then you've got no money saved. If you're in America, you need to do the same as well, because the inflation is everywhere. Everywhere. Things are going up. Even in Cyprus, things are going up. But not as much as the UK or America, because when I was in America, it was like huge. Same as in the UK, it's expensive. You know, we've really got to look at planning for the finances for the company. You got to look at, I'll give you an example. Here in Cyprus, they have the seasons. And then when the hotels, they close this time of the year. And a lot of them, they're doing up the hotels. You know, you see them painting, they're doing all kinds of stuff, which is really great and wonderful. But they close. But the staff members are then not working for 3 months, for example, because it's seasonal. Why are you going to have full head of staff members on when you don't have all the when you don't have any customers, for example? Yeah, and it's the same for some of the restaurants. They close here in Cyprus. They close because they want to have the time off because they work hard anyway, to tell you the truth. But they know it's quiet. For example, some places are quiet, so then they close, especially if they're outdoors, because when it's December, like Christmas time, for example, it can be a bit chilly to be outside, even though you can still have your Christmas meal here on Christmas Day outside. But my point is that they close, and then the staff members, they're not working for that period of time because they can't afford to keep them on and do the place up. So what they tend to do is they close, the staff members aren't working, for example, and they do the place up. The staff members, usually what happens as well, they have to like claim some sort of holiday pay for that period, for example. But my point is that you have to look at the seasons in your business. Are there seasons in your business where you've got less clients, things go quiet, but yet you've still got all of these staff members on that you're paying as if you're on a full set of client base, when you've lost clients, for example, because of the time of the year? You've got to look at your business and really understand it, because you will know, due to the geographical location, you will know when your quiet periods are, you will know when your busy periods are. So then you look to reduce your staffing level at that time, and you have the ones that are in your office on a contractual basis where it's for, say, 3 months. And then what you can do is use your frontline staff, the ones that go out to deliver the care, for example, that are hopefully, computer literate, etc. They can pick the phone up, and then they can, for example, not each person, but the ones that you feel that you know could do a good job, you could get them to come into your office for 2 hours a week, help out with the rosters, help out with quality assurance. You don't have the same person in, just have like four people that you know is trustworthy. They can come in, that's going to be professional, and they can come in and do little bits for your company whilst you're in your quiet times. That is what you should be doing, because you want to be able to save money during the busy times, ready for when the quiet times happen. You've got that income there. Or if you get hit by a crisis or a challenge, for example, you've got that income there. So this is the business the business recovery that you need to start implementing, because it's going to help you with your sales, and it will also help you to understand your business 150%, because I get the feeling that a lot of you don't understand your business 150%. Like a pine cone, right? It opens up, doesn't it? And then it closes, just like how a flower does. When the sun's out, it opens up, but when it's winter, it closes. Just like with animals, certain animals, they hibernate, don't they? Yeah, they feed and they hibernate. You got to look at your business in that way. What's your business like throughout the year? When are your quiet periods? When are your busy periods, which usually is now, for example? When is the quiet periods? When do you really need your staff members in your office all the time, in your office all year? What is it that each person is doing? You've got to look at really structuring your business in a slightly stronger way now, because like I said, the Warren Buffetts of this world, they're waiting. They know that they've been talking about this crisis happening for months, really, haven't they? It's not really new to us. It's just that now that the budget has been told, it's like, oh, this really is happening. So what can you do now? Because you've got, 4 months now to get ready. So you need to start saving some money towards your business each month. Because if you don't look at doing that, then you're not going to have something for when you get hit by a challenge or a crisis. Okay? So I hope that that was helpful for you today, because I wanted to talk to you regarding that. We do have our free event on the 27th and the 28th of December. I'm going to create the event here tomorrow. I'll create it. It will be live, for example, and I will try and see if I can get someone in as well to do a talk as well on business recovery strategies. But I'll be covering the business recovery strategies, as well as the boot camp and as well as sales, for example. But I want you to really be focused on that. We will be having the real recovery boot camp in January the 7th, 8th and 9th, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but that's when I believe it will be. I believe it's important that directors, that you're able to attend, because it's important for you to really be prepared. So that's why I'm doing the free event on the 27th and the 28th of December, so that you will hit the ground running come 2025. You will be running into it, and no one's going to stop you, because you are on a mission. You're strong. You're going to cope with this. You can do it. If you know what's the possibilities of what's coming, then you'll be best prepared to cope with it. And that's what I'm going to cover up to the 27th of December. And then I'll go deeper on the 27th and the 28th. It'll be like an immersion of business recovery strategies that you can implement in your business, because you need to. Because like I said, the big guys, some of them are just falling already. They're falling already. But you're in such a strong position. You don't realize how strong and powerful that you are as a small business owner. Plan now. Because a lot of people aren't planning. And then they're waiting to be hit. And they're just falling like dominoes. And you don't want that to happen to you. In your business, you don't want that. So I hope that you'll be able to join me. If you like this video, please do like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Share this video with anyone that you feel that will benefit as well. And I will be here live tomorrow at 7 p.m. UK time, for example, because I want to share things with you. I'm also sharing about health, wellness, fitness, because I want to look at holistically, look at all of the needs of a CEO. Not just about money, it's all the other things that's going to help keep you strong as well, so that you can hold on to your business, especially during any difficulty time, because we are meant to face challenges. It is not a bad thing. It's an opportunity. Just like Warren Buffett is seeing it as an opportunity. You too have to see this as an opportunity and grow your business, because you will be able to get it strong on another level, just like how Warren Buffett and all the others are doing. So I just wanted to mention this to you. I hope you're having a wonderful evening, and I look forward to speaking with you tomorrow at 7 p.m. and I'm going to be chucking in my cooking programs. It's all about healthy eating, because you've got to be strong. You've got to be strong. You've got to be fit. That's why I do my walks. I do my exercise. I get up early. I do my block hours, for example, in the morning, so that I'm fresh, so that I can work on my clients' contracts, because I'm determined to do that. So I just want to say thank you so much, and have a wonderful, blessed day, and I will speak with you tomorrow. Hopefully you'll be back. I would love for you to come back here, because the training that I'm doing, no one else is doing it, not on this level. For, how can I say it? The larger companies are doing these things, but for me, I want to be able to support you so that you can get strong in your business, so that your business understands business recovery, so your business understands crisis planning, so that your business understands damage limitation, communication, all of those things. Because I feel if I don't share this with you, I feel it will be such a big loss. And, you know, I wouldn't want to keep something like that from you. I want you to be able to be strong in your business, because, as I said, years ago, you know, we wasn't really taught how to cope with this. But now, because it's happened before, we're stronger, because we know already what happened recession-wise before. So now we're in a stronger position not to let it swoop us, you know, pull the rug from underneath your feet, because you know what you're dealing with. But you have to plan it right. Okay, so I just wanted to mention that to you all. And I just want to say thank you so much for your time, for being here today. And I hope that you've learned a lot. And I look forward to speaking with you soon. Please do comment, and I will show your comment as well. Please comment, and I can answer any questions that you've got as well. Please also book a free 15-minute business recovery if you want to talk to me. If you've got an issue, then, you know, it will come straight through to me, for example. But, you know, have a wonderful, blessed day, and I will see you tomorrow on the internet. Do book a free 15-minute appointment. It doesn't cost you anything apart from your time, which I know is valuable, and I appreciate that. So listen to the video again if you need to, but like I said, do plan, because Warren Buffett and all of the big guys, that's what they're planning right now, how they're going to swoop in and take. That's just life, isn't it? What can I say? All right, so thank you so much. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye, everyone. Good evening. Bye.